Yeah, so the stories I've written are dark fantasy. I just kind of find myself drawn to sort of building stories that explore those darker themes. I often see fantasy as like a kind of allegorical way of exploring our own world.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And it's obviously, especially with what's going on now in the world, it's like
Yeah,
you kind of almost need to you need to kind of like attack those sort of darker themes in order to kind of understand our world as well. It's
yeah, yeah.
it's almost like writing these dark stories actually is kind of like therapy for me as well. It's a way that I can help reason out, why these things happen in this world. And yeah, I don't know if it's indicative of an issue with me personally, but if I ever sat down to start writing a sort of pleasant, cozy fantasy, it would be decidedly not cozy or pleasant by the end.
I get that. Yeah,
Um, it's just kind of like what interests me is kind of like exploring like what makes people tick,
yeah,
and inevitably that kind of just leads me down a bit of a darker path.
yeah.
But yeah, I kind of enjoy looking at things that kind of like big talking points in modern society that kind of you don't really see a huge amount of in literature. Things like mental health and trauma and neurodivergence. I mean, especially in fantasy, if those things are touched upon, they're kind of like, you know, is that person really depressed or is that just their character?
Yeah, yeah.
You can it's never really kind of like full throated addressed.
Yeah, yeah.
But I kind of I like to pull back the curtain and see what's going on behind.
No, I mean, I think that makes total sense for me. Like, I grew up on like Billy Jack, Walker Texas Ranger, like always a hero just fighting in the filth, right? But then like still doing good things, right? In a world that's kind of crazy and crappy. So that thing is why I get attracted to urban fantasy with like particularly Harry Dresden. Like I love the fact that he just is like not afraid to get his hands dirty and go toe to toe with evil if he's doing the right thing, and like the depths he goes to do the right thing and shed some light in the darkness, I think is just such a cool theme. So that's like what I typically like to explore, really no matter what the genre is, to be honest. So I totally get that. Yeah, that's sort of like
Whereas
I'm
I'm
not
kind
much
of
of a
more
cozy.
I'm kind of more of a, this character is doing the right thing, or is he? You know,
Ooh,
is
that's
like
awesome.
a quandary in there. There's something that kind of muddies the water a little bit. It's like,
Yeah,
is he really saving the world by doing this thing, or is he
that's
actually
awesome.
making the situation worse?
God, what a
And then
great
and
theme.
then it becomes like a character exploration because you're like, but what does he believe? That's the important thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's awesome. Yeah, that's super cool. It's like Seth Jaffe and I in our interview. It was like last week when we recorded. It was like we were talking about like Mal and Jane a lot from like Firefly and just like character study and stuff. So I think that's super cool because there's so many different characters that are interesting because of things like that, right? And like those kind of questions. So I think that's really cool. That's
Yeah,
a
I mean,
neat
one
theme
one
to
of the sort of
explore.
notable things that I've noticed recently is in the Stormlight Archive. You've got
Mm.
Kaladin, who's very clearly like dealing with severe depression.
Very, yeah, very
And
traumatized, at times, right?
yeah, and that's kind of like really the first time that I kind of seen that so dealt with so openly. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
clear like his perspective chapters are from within his internal
Yep.
monologue. It's very clearly different to other people's internal monologue.
Yeah, yeah.
And whilst you used to see a lot of other stories of characters who also deal with similar sorts of things, it's never their perspective you hear from. You see what they do and you can infer, but you're never within their mind, like
Yeah, yeah.
feeling the depth of what's going on.
Yep. Yeah.
And really, I like to write those sorts of things because I like to try and understand them and I like to try and reason them out. And yeah, I kind of get drawn to those sorts of aspects of writing.